Podcast Digital Network.
Hi, everybody listening to The Thing Is. I'm Shannon. Thanks for coming back to join us.
Do you like ghosts and ghosts? Do you have fights and fights and do you have bad dates and do you like ghosts and ghosts?
Oh, the thing is, oh, the thing is, oh, the thing is, oh.
Hey, guys, this is Shannon. You're listening to The Thing Is. Thanks for coming back to join us. I am here, as always, with my hilarious co-host, comedian Mike Figs.
Jenny, I love the curls.
Thanks.
I love the waves.
Yeah, waves.
I
Thank
think
you.
it's very nice, and I think that the only thing that goes perfect with waves
is boobs.
is surge.
Oh, I'm not doing surge.
Boobs as well. But
I just can't.
Tell me why.
Because I get like so drunk.
Yeah.
And it's not fun. I don't like it. I hate it. I don't like surge. So the surges are for you guys. Joining us today, first time in the show, is comedian Tom McGuire. Welcome to the show.
Yes, what's going on, guys?
Tommy
How we
McGuire.
doing?
Look at him.
How are we
Did
doing?
I say Tommy?
Mike always calls me
I
Tommy.
call him Tommy
He's one of the
McGuire.
you and Derek Dresser.
Because I want him to be Italian, but he's not. But I
Okay.
want him to be. I try to.
Should I go Thomas?
Thomas?
Thomas.
Should we be the old lady in the room? Okay, so if I could have
Just a
a
regular.
not surge.
All right.
Ugh,
You don't want to go on a
ugh.
surge train? It's okay. No worries.
Your choice. I don't really love either of those, so you choose which one to throw
Flick
over
a little
here.
mango. Maybe start a little mango. A
Sure.
little fun. Little mango. We'll see if
Okay.
we can slide it with perfection. Okay.
Oh.
It's going to explode.
Jesus.
Right
Tommy,
in
you
my
want to
face.
have one of these? You don't have to.
Dude, I honestly,
good?
I'm literally coming off a 96-hour bender right now.
Oh, why stop?
I have to.
You're going so strong.
Because I am spiritually broken right now. It's true. Like, I've got nothing left in the tank.
No, you got to like go all the way to the rock bottom.
No, I slept for 13 hours last night.
That's the best.
I haven't slept
It
for
was-
13 hours in 6
It was
months.
crazy.
Raging insomniac. She can't sleep.
Oh,
13
really?
hours seems like an
Oh, my
impossible
God.
thing. You're also a young person.
True. I do have that on my side. I do have that in my favor.
13
But
hours
yeah,
is great.
I went to bed at like 11:30 and woke up at. By the time I got out of bed, it was like 1 p.m.
That's the best.
And I woke up from a text from my mom that said, "Are you alive?"
That's the best. Yeah, Ma, I just got up. Sorry.
Yeah.
Or do you make an excuse, or do you tell her?
No,
the
she
truth?
knows. She knows I'm like teetering on the line of alcoholism. She knows.
Why are you getting hammered? What's going on?
Well, me and my buddies, we went to Nashville.
Nice.
So we went there, flew in Thursday, and then flew back yesterday night. And now we try to get together just like once a year, just to do like a boys trip. It's like everyone kind of like dispersed like off of Long Island. Everyone's kind of like in different places. So this year we did Nashville, and it was fucking just
You're just coming back from Nashville?
yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Well, I flew in last night, and then I got the
Okay.
13 hours of sleep.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
So you're recharged. Have a surge.
I can't. I gotta like get back to the gym today. I gotta get my life back in order.
Let's see. What do you want to bet? You want to bet that? I don't know. I won't bet because Tommy's not a drinker. Tommy's at the stand all the time. When the comics, I see him and I bang out the weekends.
Hold on.
And you're not really. If
No,
you
no,
drink,
no.
you're like Mike. I'm drinking.
Well, that's the thing is like, because I know that like the drink, like it could derail my comedy career.
Yeah.
It has that potential. So like, I try and separate
Yeah.
church and state.
You're a smart man.
You know what I mean?
You're
All right,
smart man.
Tom, me.
Yes.
Craziest thing you've done while drunk.
Crazy. Oh my God. At one time, this isn't even crazy. This is just like outright scary. So like, you know how like if you're at like you know how like some houses will have like a basement apartment. Usually like on the side, there's like the stairs that like go down. So I was at this girl I went to high school with. I was at her house and we were drinking in the backyard. I was like 17 years old. And for whatever reason, I decided to like run across the stairway. That I don't know, didn't have to do that. Just did it for just like the thrill. And I fell down.
Oh shit.
And like, dude, by like the grace of God, like just like my back caught like all of the stairs.
Yeah.
And like my head got saved by like the actual like dip in the stair.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, God is on my side today.
What a sweet kid. I fell down steps.
What was
that's
the
that's
Well,
the story. Is like this is the
nothing like-
craziest thing. You know, a
No.
basement apartment for rich people. I fell down the steps.
But that I could have legitimately like cracked my head open.
Sure.
So like when I
sure.
think of like a big like regret.
Yeah.
I mean, like, all my friends have a story where they're like, dude, I'm not drinking with Tom for a while.
Yeah.
They're like, you know,
Wait,
this guy-
what was the objective?
I don't know, just being a fucking
You like
retard.
you
Just, like-
planned, you planned on running down the stairs, or
No,
you didn't
so
realize the stairs
I
were
think,
there?
I think we were playing beer pong, and like the ball like rolled across to that side of the yard, And just like as like a joke, like I was gonna like balance across it, but did it in like a full sprint, and just like just right down.
Just a happy life.
Wow.
Other stories, it's like, I took a hitchhiker and she cut me
Well, I'm
during
trying to-
sex and this, and he's like,
Trying to think.
I
let's
had
play
a-
beer pong. My mom and my dad are together still.
Well, that
We're
was
happy.
like that one was bad just because I was like my head could be cracked open and bleeding
Yeah,
right now.
of course.
You
But I
know?
had a family barbecue in Long Island,
Okay.
and everyone's in the backyard. I don't even think he was drinking. This was early. It was still light, light out. It was early in the day, and we're all hanging out in the backyard. And there was like, I don't even know what it was. They were doing like construction on the house, and so like there was like a thing like down into the ground, but like one cement like block down into the ground, kind of. I don't know what the purpose of this was for. And so he was just walking and not paying attention and just went down.
Oh, no.
Oh, Jesus.
So
Just
it is
missed
kinda
it.
scary,
But there
yeah.
should
Yeah, no,
have
it's
been
frightening.
something should have been covering it maybe, because this is like not even after us all drinking.
Yeah.
He just like walked and just dumped right into the thing. He's fine. He lived.
Good. This is recently, like a couple days ago?
A couple years ago.
Oh,
A
okay.
couple years ago, yeah.
Falling is scary, I guess. I've never really. Every time I walk on one of those grates in the sidewalk, and the shit just, especially because I'm a fatty, the shit just goes like, doof.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
dude,
I'm
my
always like,
aunt fell in
No
one. I swear to
way.
God.
No
Yeah,
way.
she fell down. She was waiting for the bus when she was younger, and like they're waiting for the school bus, and she was like standing on it and just boom, like
oh
fell
my
right down.
God. Lawsuit?
Lawsuit?
That's what I. Yeah,
No,
the first thing I
honestly, I don't even think she like pressed like who do you even go to when that
The
happens?
owner of that
The owner,
building?
Lucky.
No, this was just like in like the suburbs of Long Island, just like on the street.
Oh, just like a grating.
Yeah, just like
Not-
a little
yeah.
grate, like the water grates.
Yeah.
She was
City?
all right. Did she grab something? Somebody said
Her
it?
so her like ex-boyfriend at the time like ripped the thing open, like reached down, like pulled her up.
Wow.
It's like a very heroic
Oh, she
story.
met the it clown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Fucking.
What's
Anyways,
the craziest thing that's ever happened to you while you were drunk?
the craziest thing was the first time I ever drank. I drank Bacardi 151 in New Jersey
Okay.
with my very first girlfriend ever in my life. She was 19. I was like 16. I was turning 16. And I got so drunk. I woke up. It was a house party. I woke up in a room, a kid's room, dark, and I just hear music. Doo, 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 doo. I'm asleep in the dark. I throw up all over the room. No one knows. I throw up. I go outside. My girl is grinding with another guy, like reggaeton, like shake, like grinding her ass, holding the guy's neck. And I was so drunk. I was like, wait. It's my turn. I can do the dance. I can do it. So and then the guy, like my girl gets like, she's like, oh no, whatever. And then she's like, he's gotta leave. And as I'm leaving, I knock the guy's lamp. Like he had a beautiful lamp, knock it down. I hear guys screaming. Evidently he was in like some gang or whatever. And then she brings me to a McDonald's. She kisses another guy in front of me, but I didn't even know I was eating food.
whore.
An ex-boyfriend came, whatever, and she ran away, and they like hugged each other. I woke up I go to the laundromat, right? She goes, this is where you're gonna stay. I'm dropping you off in this laundromat in this building. You'll be safe.
Forever?
I'm crying. It's like 2:00. It's like
Wait, how old are you at this point?
I'm 16.
How old is this girl?
She's 19. And she's like a cool Jersey chick, Cuban chick, graduating. She was so gangster. That's why I liked
It's
her.
not very cool. She left a child at a laundromat
She was
drunk
horrible.
at 2
But I was
a.m.
big. I was the same size I am now, but I was playing football. I was 190 pounds. I was a big kid. I would wear my high school jersey and shit. I was like, fuck, I was a meathead. But all these guys were older than me, and they were clowning me. It was humiliating. And I was so drunk in the laundromat. Her girlfriends were there. They were laughing on sidekick slides. I don't know if you remember the sidekicks.
Nah, that's before
you
mine.
remember the sidekicks, right? And they're taking photos of me. And I pulled my pants down like I'm going to bed, and my whole cock was out. My whole
Nice.
cockoli, and it was not fluffed. It was just a little tater tot of a cock. And I fell down. I woke up the next day in the laundromat. My mom was terrified. I was in huge trouble, and she showed up with a sandwich for me. And I forgave her for everything she'd done. And I woke up in this laundromat at 7 a.m. the next day in the day.
How did she like have access to this laundry?
It was like she knew it was like a laundromat that she fucked guys in and smoked cigarettes in. Yeah, so she was like, I know I can leave him there and he'll be safe. And she
It was
like
like
locked it.
open?
It was
Like a
like
24-hour laundromat?
It was
Sounds
like a
like a
building.
front.
It was a building laundromat.
Oh, okay.
That she knew. It was like her friend's building, and she was like, we can leave him here and he'll be fine. And I slept in between a dryer and a washer on concrete, and then I woke up. And I remember being dramatic when I woke up. I knew she was coming, so I like put my shit together and I like kind of like posed like, oh, like what happened last night?
Is that cool? That's a cool
I
way to do it.
I was sitting on the dryer like swinging my feet on top of the dresser. I was like, whoa, I'm so sorry. Meanwhile, as I got my memory back, and like I had one friend of mine that was there, He was like, yo, dude, like, do you know what she did? She was like, she danced with fucking Johnny. She kissed her fucking Clive, her ex-boyfriend, and all this shit. They humiliated you. You showed them your cock. And that was I didn't care about any of the stuff. It was the cock part. I was like, please tell me no one took a photo and put it on MySpace. They're like, no, nobody took a photo. I was like, thank God. But now that I look back at it, my cock was probably nicer back then because I was only 190 pounds.
Yeah, the ratio was probably.
So it was probably a lot better than what it looks now. But yeah, that was the worst thing I did drunk. That was the biggest regret. I was like, oh my God. Bacardi 151 is not a good first thing to drink. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
Like you drink Coronas, you drink a beer with your family, whatever, you have a couple, whatever, wine. Bacardi 151?
Yeah.
That is
like, dude, when I started going to bars, I was starting off with Long Island iced teas.
Oh, that's trash. But it's super garbage. But I agree with you. That's what we all think.
Yeah,
we think that's all that sounds cool.
Dude, I swear, like legitimately, like my logic was like, I'm a Long Island kid. I like Arizona. This is like a good entry point, and then I'll work my way up to like a beer. But like that's actually like what I thought was like the correct approach.
What were you drinking at the club the day you got drunk? The only time I've ever seen you drunk.
Oh, the whiskey sours.
The whiskey sours. He's like, Mike, I'm ready to party. Let's get whiskey sours.
No, so Dan Lamort was having them. He was like, get one of these with me. I was like, I'll have one.
It's a real lady drink.
I know. Oh, they're so good. They're so fucking
They're
delicious.
supposed to be garnished with an orange and a cherry. It's the
and you know what's
appropriate way to
funny?
serve.
Yeah, that I was actually like excited about the cherry. I was like, this is a nice little feature they put on this.
I love whiskey sours are delicious, but if they're made fresh, they're really delicious.
You make them by yourself in your home. You don't let like people see you drink them.
100%.
You know what? You don't let people watch you order 8 at your place of work.
Yeah. He spent $40 on whiskey sours with his discount. And I was like, what are you doing?
It's gonna be a miserable next day with all the sour.
Oh, I was so hungover.
What were you drinking in Nashville?
Nashville, I was just doing like J&C's and just like Busch Lights.
J&C's.
Just real, just
Is that
real,
what the kids call it these
real
days?
white trash. You know,
Jack and Coke.
That's what the kids call it.
just J&C's.
Thank you, JC.
I broke my ankle once drunk.
Oh my God.
And it was just such a silly, stupid thing. It was my night off of bartending. And I was hanging out with my sister at one of the bars that I worked at. And like a couple of my friends that were off of work. And then a few friends were working. It was a slow, dead day. And so like we're drinking a bunch. And then we went into the bathroom together. And it was like a big bathroom, one toilet. There weren't like stalls or anything. So my sister's like peeing. I'm like turned the other way waiting for her. And there's like a little trash can on the ground, like one of the little metal ones. And I'm in flip-flops, by the way. At the time, I'm young, like in my 20s. I don't ever wear flats. I always wear heels. And I was like, oh, we're just bumming it tonight. I'm going to wear flip-flops. I've never hurt myself on heels in my whole life. And so this night in flip-flops, I somehow tripped over that trash can. And then so I was like, I can't walk. I'm like limping, whatever. Stayed out a whole bunch. I lived at the time a 3rd floor walk up. So I had to crawl up the stairs. In the morning, I'm like, this doesn't look like what I think it should look like. And I look at, I don't know if you ever had like a broken bone in your foot or leg, but there's just like a lump, like a black and blue lump on the side. So then my brother-in-law came and brought me to the emergency room, and I broke my fibula. And it was like 4 days before I was going to Vegas for Labor Day weekend. And then I couldn't cancel the flight because I wasn't going to get my money back. So I went to Vegas in a wheelchair for Labor Day weekend.
Kind of cool.
Dude, you know, that's one thing I was very surprised about in Nashville. Multiple people just like on crutches. Like in the bar, like full, you know, like when you tear ACL, you get like that big cast that goes from like your mid thigh down to your shin.
You got to rally. You got to party.
I was like, yeah, dude, if you're in that wedding party,
flip-flops suck. Flip-flops are the worst. Was it like a wet bathroom a little bit?
No, it was just, I think what happened was that the bottom, like the way I took the step, the bottom part folded down.
Yes.
And that's what like whatever situations had. It was like Final Destination.
Mike Harrington
what
is
happened.
always wearing flip-flops. And he's like very versatile with those fucking flip-flops. In the city, in Manhattan, in the dark comedy clubs with fucking chancletas on, with fucking flip-flops. And I don't understand that.
Yeah, dark comedy club, I'd be scared that something would like run over my feet.
And he's got nice feet, Mike, by the way. Harrington, our producer.
You were checking out Mike's feet.
For a man, they have nice feet. They're not bad.
They said it's like one of the most dangerous things you can do is like wear flip-flops out in public. Like, you ever watch like a Navy SEAL talk about like his everyday carry on YouTube?
Sounds amazing.
You ever watch those types of videos?
Yeah, I can imagine.
Every single one of them is like under no circumstance open-toed shoes. Like that. Like they're still like having a knife and like a piece on them. They're they're like, you must have sneakers.
Yeah.
Is that like to be prepared for combat?
Yeah.
No, but like think about like if you were just like a civilian like in the financial district on like 9/11.
Yeah.
You know, and you were just like you were just in your flip-flops.
You toast.
You
You
could
know?
probably run in flip flops.
You
can,
got.
but
You're
you don't
probably
got
gonna
much-
take them off, right? You'll start to
Probably.
run and be like, "This sucks." Now you're barefoot running in the city. Glass,
Yeah.
crack, heroin.
That's
going
more-
into
yeah.
your
Yeah, the
feet.
barefoot's bad.
Yeah, flip flops. I mean, the flip flops I'm thinking of are like the what are they called? Like the little plastic
Yeah,
shitty ones.
like from Old Navy. I
Yeah.
spent a lot of the summer in just plain flip flops,
yeah,
and just broke my ankle one time.
that's not bad.
Knock on
But
wood.
you didn't have to. But you weren't there 9/11 though. So
No, I was there after volunteering.
you volunteered
I
9/11.
did. I volunteered for 2 weeks,
Wow.
overnight shift, right at Ground Zero, and I worked with the Salvation Army, and I gave food and stuff to all the firefighters and the cops.
Happy Memorial Day. Say your
Thank you so
Cash App
much.
right now.
You're welcome for
we
your
have 40. we have
You're welcome for my
40,000
service.
40,000 people are watching us right now live at gasdigital.com. Send Shannon some money. She's a fucking. I didn't know you fucking contributed it to 9/11.
Yes, I contributed it.
Contributed.
Oh boy, I'm starting to surge.
surging, he's surging.
Oh shit,
He's
we need
surging.
a button for when I start to
Oh,
surge.
Tom,
What?
are you feeling bad? You're not surging?
I can't surge. I
right.
truly can't. I gotta give myself like a good week.
I haven't even.
J and
seen
C's in
pineapple.
Nashville.
I haven't seen pineapple surges before.
I know. We'll share. it.
Tom,
Pineapple surge is probably
surge.
delicious.
We're gonna.
I
Share
will
it.
say. We'll see.
you
See
wanna-
if the show goes on.
He's giving.
He might.
He's giving a little bit.
He might break.
He's giving a
I
little-
might.
Gets a little
I
loosen
might.
up as a little. He goes, all right, fuck
We're
it. Let me
16 minutes in.
Let me join the surge
We're getting
train.
there.
Well, that's the thing. Like, are you like the type of guy that can like have like a drink and then just be like, yeah, I just had like a surge at the pod and then just go on with the rest of your day?
By the way, can I just say a surge isn't just a drink.
Yeah. What? Let me
It's
see
a-
the surge. I need the alcohol percentage on the surge.
60
Now-
minutes in, now he's
now it's in
touching
his
it.
hand.
Oh, it's an 8%.
It's in his
Touching
hand.
the surge.
8% surge.
It's in your hand now. You touched
260 calories in the surge.
That bad?
Crazy.
Oh fuck.
Craziness.
That's why I keep fucking.
it. It's in his hand. He's seconds away from
We're thinking
cracking
about it. We're thinking. We'll
Okay,
leave it here just
all
in
right.
case. We'll leave it here just in
It's on
case.
the coaster now. It's on the coaster.
So close.
Oh boy.
Okay. Let's anything you want to talk about beforehand?
No, I mentioned Poly Family for a moment. Poly Love. I didn't see the new episode. Handmaid's Tale.
It's getting good.
It's getting good. It's done.
Oh, isn't there one more episode?
There's one more, but you saw the last one.
Yeah, I saw the last one.
It's over. You watch Handmaid's Tale?
No, but I thought that show's been done for years.
Well, it was.
It was.
Yeah, I
it
didn't know
was.
they came
yeah.
back.
Final season.
Unbelievable.
It's really good.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert's okay?
Oh,
Yeah, go for it.
skip
I'm not
ahead.
gonna get around.
Skip
to it.
ahead.
Skip
If
ahead,
I haven't seen Goodfellas and Sopranos, I'm not getting around to Handmaid's Tale yet.
You haven't. That's another thing.
Nah.
With this guy, I forget because I love him so much, and I talk to him like he's my age, and I forget he's 10 years younger than me, and I'm like, you remember that fucking scene in Tropic Thunder? And he's like, dude, what are you talking about? I'm watching Bluey. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what do you mean? You didn't watch Tropic Thunder? There's a
Nah.
list of movies you gotta watch.
I know, dude. I know.
It's fun. Shannon will do the same thing to me. She's like, you never saw My Cousin Vinny? Like, what the fuck?
I don't think
Have
I've
you
seen
never
that
seen
one.
My
I've
Cousin
never
Vinny?
seen My Cousin Vinny.
Oh
I
my
know.
God,
There's-
homework
I know,
next week.
I know.
I'm going to quiz you on My Cousin. Harrington, can you write this down,
Write
please?
it
Next
down.
week, we're going to quiz Figs on My Cousin Vinny.
I got it queued up. I gotta watch it. You see My Cousin Vinny?
Nah,
No, you didn't see Goodfellas or Casino.
no.
Okay, you can watch Casino.
Forrest
first.
Gump is a big one. I haven't seen either.
Yeah, fuck
Have
Forrest
you seen
Gump.
Yeah.
any
Fuck
gangster
it,
movies? Any?
I mean, I saw The Irishman. I thought it was really good.
It was so bad. The
I
Irishman was
loved it.
horrible.
I thought The Irishman was great.
Irishman was
I was
so-
like, this is
It
cinema.
took me 4 days to finish The Irishman. There was
I've
so
never
much
seen
bad
it.
CGI.
Never
he
seen it.
Really?
He like fake kicks a guy outside the deli.
Oh, well, listen, I wasn't
It's
watching it
so
for the
bad.
fights, you know?
That's part of why you
That's
watch
why you want to
these
see Robert
movies.
De Niro fucking fuck
Yeah, but he was
somebody
like,
up.
he was how old is dude? You're like, it's 80.
The best part is the Sebastian scene. Sebastian's in it for like a second.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Yeah,
like he's
yeah,
talking to. He's like,
His the way he like enters into the movie is really cool.
Yeah, and the way he dies is crazy too.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'd say start with Casino. Casino's like a fun.
Casino's the best.
It's like not. It's a little like it's step outside of gangster a little bit. There's like
It's a little bit like it got a little ocean
extra,
vibe,
yeah.
Ocean 12 vibe.
I've got my
to it.
thing is like I got a real problem with like movies that aren't up to speed in terms of like quality
Oh
with
my
like
god,
today.
you're like
So
my,
like
you're like my stepson.
What
like,
your
when I-
quality isn't the right word because
You're like the kids nowadays.
Yes,
They go,
He
oh,
is a
this
kid.
is.
Yeah.
They go, oh, if it's a little grainy,
No, I need like 65 colors, bright
Yeah.
colors popping out. I need this to be 10 seconds long.
Yeah, I want to watch
And
Free
go.
Guy with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, I love that movie.
It was so good.
It was a great
It was
movie.
so cute. I watched it a second time this
So
week.
it's a great
It's
movie.
very good.
what is it?
We
Free-
love
Free Guy with
And
Ryan
it's-
Reynolds.
Guy?
Ryan
Nah.
Gosling.
Ryan Gosling.
Yes.
No, Ryan Reynolds.
Free Guy. Oh, I'm thinking of Fall Guy.
Oh.
I don't care about Free Guy.
Oh, fuck Fall Guy. Fall Guy
How
sucked.
dare you?
Fall Guy was
That's
like
new, right?
Jorge,
Didn't that just come out?
Jorge's on my side. I'm not looking at Harrington.
Free Guy. You gotta
Jorge's
watch
on my
Free
side.
Guy
Absolutely
with
not. Fall
Ryan
Guy.
Reynolds.
But, by the way, in the comments, everybody, I want you to write down Free Guy or Fall Guy.
Yeah,
maybe
write
we'll
Free Guy.
maybe we'll put a poll on the YouTube page. Free Guy or Fall Guy?
Did you see Free
Fall
Guy?
Guy. I can't remember it.
Free Guy. He's an NPC in a
Oh,
video
I
game.
really do like that one.
That was cute, right?
Yeah, but I like Ryan Gosling so much more than Ryan Reynolds.
I do like Ryan Gosling more. Dude, don't tell anybody at the stand that I'm a closeted homosexual. I do like Ryan Gosling better than Ryan Reynolds, especially with all the shit with Ryan Reynolds. He might be a psycho.
Really?
Jorge, what's the
Wasn't
chat?
he like a billionaire? Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, he is.
What's
You
the
know?
chat saying, Jorge? Are they more on the side of Fall Guy or Free Guy?
A couple people saying Free Guy.
Fine, we'll see what the YouTube
Fall
people
Guy
say.
wasn't horrible, but Free
Fall
Guy
Guy
was
was
actually kind of
great.
good.
Free Guy was good. But
Yeah.
Fall Guy, it was so much fun.
But there was no
So
emotional to
exciting.
it. With Free Guy, I felt there was an emotional.
There is an emotional
Connection.
No, there is an emotional part to Fall Guy. Because it's a whole love story. That's the whole point of the whole movie.
I guess
is he
so.
goes back to get
You know
with the
what?
director.
You know what? They're the same movie.
Oh my god.
Maybe they're the same fucking movie. Maybe AI made both of these shit movies.
And they're all the same.
What movie
it's all
did
the
we?
same
What movie
formula.
were we talking about that was actually a good movie? What was the first movie that we mentioned?
Casino?
Casino, yeah.
Casino's good. No, there was before that guy. What got us into Casino? Oh, Polly Love?
Yeah, you were talking about that.
Probably
with
Family.
No, Handmaid's Tale.
Oh,
The Handmaid's
it's
Tale,
not a
yeah, yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Handmaid's
It's
Tale.
a TV show.
I don't know if you watched it, a little bit of it, whatever. But anyways, she wins. Moral of the
not
story:
over.
she wins. No, well, this
I mean,
last part is just kind of going to be.
This is where you skip.
Big spoiler.
Spoiler.
Big spoiler.
I really was wanting that guy to get off the plane.
Me too.
Not
Which
even
guy?
Nick.
The
Not
hu-
even Nick.
Not Nick, the guy.
The other
Yeah,
guy.
I know.
Yeah.
But he took one for the team.
I know.
That's why they had that goodbye with him and his daughter
Yeah.
and him telling like, please teach her these things.
Yeah, but he wasn't intending on going down with the ship. They just got there too late.
It's kind of good that he died. I mean, well, if Gilead was to come back or whatever, he died a martyr in their eyes.
There's
And
other commanders though. Like
There's still more
Gilead isn't dead. Yeah, that's not all the commanders.
those are the main.
Those are just like
the
the main
extremists.
ones, yeah.
Yeah, but she won. She fucking got him. She got them all. She watched her man die. Her
Oh,
ex-man.
husband's gonna be so happy.
He's gonna be like, oh no, but he's like so happy.
Okay, let's move on. We're
Anyways,
sorry, Tom.
it's good.
Sorry. It's
Sorry.
great show.
Forget.
Well, I guess I can never watch Handmaid's Tale.
you don't need.
You're not gonna. We didn't say any. We don't know anyone's names. I know Nick. I know Nick's name. I think that's the only person's name that I know. What's the other guy's name? It's not Jefferson. Lawrence.
Commander Lawrence.
That's it. Yeah. Now you know. Now we ruined it.
Not Waterford.
Yeah.
Now we did
Lawrence,
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lawrence,
No, Waterford is dead.
Waterford died in a good
Yeah.
one. Did you watch Last of Us? Did you watch? You watch
no.
Last of Us?
No.
What do you watch? He's like Nick games, Yankee games,
watch,
porn.
I'm trying to think.
TikTok?
I don't even know.
TikTok.
I don't even know. I mean, a favorite show of all time is Power. Because I just relate to it so much.
Tommy is a Long Island kid. He's not a wigger, but he does have the
Yeah.
fucking
That's a real
sticker.
wigger answer.
He's got the sticker on his hat, and he likes power.
Power.
He's
Let me see your
almost
sneakers.
there.
Air Force Ones.
Oh, but they're not like fresh.
No, well, they were before I went on vacation.
Okay.
They're ruined now. So I got to get a new crispy pair. So tonight I got to go Foot Locker
He's
at
just
a
like
get a
a
new
fucking
pair.
clean. He's just like he's like almost a Guido. Like he's right there.
I'm
'Cause you're not
fully a
Italian.
trans-Italian man.
Because what's your ethnicity?
Irish and Portuguese.
Look at that, ladies.
Portuguese is kind of close.
Look at
A
that,
little
ladies.
German,
It's
too.
almost
a little
there.
German in there.
I'm
Chat,
some
write
German.
squirt signs. If that's getting you horny, give us a couple squirt
It's
signs in
all
the
dudes
chat.
in the chat. There's
Yeah,
like 3 girls.
but they're
But
here
do
for
you know
a
what's funny?
reason.
I will say I don't really identify with like any ethnicity. Like
Yeah.
growing up, we didn't speak to the Irish.
No,
side.
you're Long Island. You're Long
Right.
Island.
And you're
that's for
so
sure.
white.
and
You're
I'm
just
so
white.
white. And like I can't just be like, oh, I'm a Portuguese man.
Yeah.
Right. But like that's the side of my family that I talk
Oh, you'd
to.
have to learn a few words.
Right.
Do you know some words?
No.
Okay, well
don't know any.
that's all you have to do. Just learn like a sentence, and
He's
then
like
you can say I'm
Rappaport.
Portuguese.
Michael, like he's like cool white, right? Like Michael Rappaport
He's
is kind of
wi-
cool
he's
white.
wiggery,
Yeah,
though.
my Rappaport is big time. But yeah, but he's not like yo, what's up? You know, he's more
pretty
like
close.
girl, come on, girl. Like he's more
I think
like
it's pretty
catering. He's
close
like
to
pandering.
Wigger. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's get it for a second.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling over there? You feeling like cracking
feeling
it?
all right?
With the surge,
Just
I will
checking.
see.
Just
We'll see.
checking. Okay.
Maybe when we get into like the the prompts.
Oh, well, we're about to do that right at this very moment. So normally the first question we ask new guests on the show is for you to tell us a story about either your worst date experience or weirdest sexual experience.
Okay, so I was practicing these with my roommate before I came here, and this one we really spent the most time on. And I don't have like a full, just catastrophic story per se. But
Did you fall down the stairs?
No. No. But I do have like a few quick hitters that I can throw out there.
All right.
This one I thought was really weird. So, met this girl at the Stand after a show.
Nice.
Right?
Classy spot.
After the show, she just like books it past me. Like doesn't say a word. But then her sister was like trailing behind her and was like, "That was my sister. She thinks you're really cute. Can I get your number for her?" And I was like, you know when like something just doesn't feel right? I was like, I don't know. I was like, looking back, I should have just like been standing there with her sister and like called that girl back over.
Yeah.
And then,
Or you could be like, "Oh, I think she's cute too. Have her come over."
I didn't even know what she really looked like because she just right by. So like I was like, I'm not gonna give you my number. I was like, but have her follow me on Instagram. Okay. So I can at least like see what this girl looks
gain
like.
a follower from it.
I get a follower, right?
Yeah.
So like DM it or whatever. It's like cute girl, and then we like agree to like meet up at this bar like a few days later, and she's like standing outside the bar. And when I walk up to her, I see she's on the phone. Okay. And I like walk up to her and she goes, "Oh, okay, Dad, he's here. I'll talk to you later. Bye." And I was like, it was so fucking weird.
Oh, no.
Do you know what I mean? And just like between that and the fact that like she didn't talk to me like after the show.
Oh, so after that, you gave her your Instagram, and then that's it?
So I gave the sister I was like, have her follow me on social media. And then
it's trying to get into your
I know, it's dying to get it. And then like she was cute. So like we started like DMing, and then like we like agreed to like go to this bar, like meet up.
Yeah. So she's 21.
I think she was she was my brother's age. I think she was 23.
And how old are you?
I'm going to be 25 tomorrow.
What? And a little baby. Gemini.
Gemini.
Yeah.
Wow, this is crazy.
So I've heard it's very frowned upon.
No, not at all.
A lot of people.
Really?
A lot of people don't like Gemini.
Yeah, I know.
June 3rd, June 9th.
Oh, okay, yeah, whenever I throw that out, everyone's always like,
Yeah, they're stupid. It just they can't figure out like how to like get into our good graces, I think.
Yeah, we're able. We're flexible. We're able to fucking any situation, baby. We're versatile.
I would say like they say two-faced is what I hear.
That's
the
bullshit.
bad one. That's the bad one.
but that's like a misinterpretation of how we actually are.
Yeah.
It's just like if we like you, we really like you. If we don't like you, we really don't like you, and that can kind of happen quickly. But it's not two-faced where we do shit behind people's backs.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sorry, please proceed.
And then like I thought the date like went fine.
Okay. So
Right.
she's 23. She's got a good dad. You know. If she should have been a little bit smoother, like, okay, Popsy's coming, and then hang up and then see you. She waited for you to get close. Like, Dad, he's right in front of me.
So like what I took from it was that I was like, this girl must have been like just fucked over on some dates.
Okay.
It was like a defense thing.
Okay.
Or maybe she's just like,
you know what I mean?
Super. What's her ethnicity?
I don't remember. But she was just like white, miscellaneous white.
Okay.
She could just be like too attached to her family still, which is not even too attached anymore, because like in like early 20s these days, not to be like an old lady, but like people are like still living at home for like 100 years. Do you still live at home?
No, I moved out.
Okay, but they like live home forever, and they stay like in like this very like codependent relationships with their family for much longer than I think somebody should. So she's out with her sister. Not saying it's necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
But
Well,
just, like,
I'm
a
sorry.
thing.
She was from Ohio. From Ohio, living in New York on her own.
Okay.
And didn't like had written off her mom.
Well, she probably.
But then she has her dad and her sister.
But has her dad like and her sister. Go back now, like talking shit about.
It's-
She's like
no,
a good
it's-
person,
no,
but
I don't
it
think
was just
it's
like
bad.
very. I've never had like that.
The
sort
creepy
of,
part is her saying it in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of being
And
like,
it was almost like-
I'm gonna let you go. Everything's good. I'll text you, and then you pretend like, hey, he's
no, but
here.
maybe that's like also like, hey, don't murder me.
Okay,
Cool.
see, that's
Yeah,
how I
yeah,
took it.
yeah,
I
yeah,
took it like
yeah.
as a very like defensive approach.
Yeah.
Kind of being like, just so you know, my dad knows where I am right now.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not like the guy that's like going to like fuck you over. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so like,
You're
for me, it was
you
very
get
like,
JC's at the bar.
yeah, but doing JC's, I was like, I'm resisting a surge.
might
Like, I'm a
surge.
good dude.
One day I
But-
might surge.
Yeah.
How far did it go? Did you go on another date or was it just that
No,
one date?
after that, it's just
You got a smooch out of her or no?
nothing.
Damn.
Nothing. It's just a waste of $80 is what it was.
But you had a good time.
I mean, in the moment, yeah. I look back now, it's just a poor financial move on my part. But yeah, that's really like the only bad date story I had, because like I had a girlfriend in high school, and then was like single for like a year or two, and then was in like a 4-year relationship. So I'm like kind of just getting like back out there. So like I've only been on dates with probably like 4 girls, I would say, actual dates.
Do you ever get a
know
girl
what I mean?
a little aggressive at the stand, like a little like too much? So like that girl was kind of shy, and she made her sister do the move. Were you there when the girl flashed her tits? No, it was me and Tristan. But you ever get like, because the stand, we're meeting some wild chicks sometimes.
Yeah,
And,
like did you host like the midnight?
The midnight's wild. The midnight gets a little
I
crazy.
really don't like when a girl comes on to me like aggressively.
Yeah.
For me it's like a big turn. I had like a girl like she kept like grabbing my neck and like trying to like pull me in to kiss her, like standing in front of like John the bartender. I was like, nah, come on, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You know.
You're gonna have to just bang them out sometimes, brother. You're gonna have to do it and get your experience up.
Well, I guess like what is your intention? I mean, maybe I'm just assuming it since you're so young, you're really just trying to like bang it out a bunch, especially since you're just coming out of a relationship.
Tom's a good kid.
Or are you not?
I don't really know. I don't know. I've been thinking about this a lot. I've got one foot in each world right now of being like, I don't know if I'm one of these things will happen. I'm either going to like really lean into like Christianity and become like just this really wholesome guy, or I'm just gonna be like
A whore.
yes, and one of them will happen. But I'm in the middle right now, and they're both pulling at each other, and it's freaking me out.
Follow
So, like,
his journey at Tom McGuire at YouTube.
one of them has to take precedent. Do you know what I mean? Because like even like last night, like I got back from Nashville, and I was like, before I went to bed, like saying like my nighttime prayer, and just like I was like, the fuck am I doing right now? After like
okay.
being
That's not
disgusting
wrong.
for 4
That's not
days.
That's okay.
That's good.
You know?
You're allowed. You don't have to be like all good or all bad.
Right. That's a
Prayer
good,
is
that's a good
good.
point.
Like I kind of stopped doing it, but there was a moment where, because for a long time I felt like if I don't pray, something bad's gonna happen, and I was like, that's the wrong reason to want to pray. So I kind of stopped praying for a while. But I think it's good to let it out, put it out in the universe. I think a prayer is like affirmations. Like it's good to have that mental, just to be in that good place. I think it fortifies your mental. So there's nothing wrong.
Yeah. But then, like, you ever meet like someone that's like really devout,
And
they
there's
just
something
freak
wrong
you the
with
fuck
them.
out,
Yeah,
man.
and there's always an issue.
Yeah,
Always.
it's very like weird. And then that's like another thing is like how would that like affect like even like you meet like a Christian comic. Do you know what I mean?
I never met a Christian comic.
I don't like or like
Nate
people,
Bargatze?
Oh, Nate
I
Bargatze.
wouldn't say Nate is a Christian comic per se. Actually, I don't even know who a Christian comic is. Maybe I just
thought
have
he was
like
gonna
this
say, I don't know
theory
who
of what
Nate
like a
Bargatze is.
Christian comic would be.
I'm trying to think of like the ones like I guess like there's Ryan Hamilton. What is he? Jehovah's Witness? What is he?
The Watchtower.
Mormon?
That's a wild one.
Mormon or Jehovah's Witness? One of those two.
Well, I mean, there's John Christ. That guy's name is literally Christ.
He's a Christian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, super Christian
What's
comedian.
Ryan Hamilton? Mormon? What is it? I can't remember.
He's looking it up right now. Here, the
Yeah.
cooking.
I'm typing
He's a Latter-day Saint, yeah, Mormon.
Yeah, okay.
Now considers himself an inactive Mormon.
Oh, interesting.
inactive Mormon.
By the way, just a
He
weird thing.
stopped sending in his avails. He's like, no more.
I have to just say this out loud because it blew my mind, especially coming from Big J. But I was listening to the Bonfire from like last week, though. I'm like very behind. And they were talking about Mormons. They're like, oh, Mormon women, gross, blah. Are there even any hot Mormons? And I'm like, I'm shocked to hear these words from Jay because Jay knows reality
Yeah.
TV. And even if he doesn't watch the show,
Yeah.
there is the Mormon housewives that are all fucking hot as shit.
Yeah.
And it's crazy for him to say that.
Yeah, the Mormons are like wealthy
They're-
blonde white chicks. Most
At least
of them.
this group
Isn't like
is.
Utah like the big
Yeah.
like Mormon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where that's
Mormon
where these
are
chicks are.
like yeah,
They're beautiful.
yeah. I don't know what's the Muslim ugliest religion.
I mean, you can't see. You don't know. You can't see them.
Speaking
No,
so
you,
on
like
my
you see the men, you get nice. You know, their daughters. Come on. Yeah.
on my flight home, I was watching the American Manhunt, Osama bin Laden. I gotta tell you, man, being in the sky and watching the fucking Twin Towers go down, unsettling feeling.
Bad choice.
Unsettling. God, 4 hours sleep, dehydrated, like just sitting there watching.
You
you
look
hear a
at
little
the guy next
turbulence.
to you and sit there explaining how they got into the plane.
Yeah.
You're looking for clues.
Oh, when you talk about Middle Eastern men now, I've been on a little bit of a kick. I scooted away from body cam footage, and I'm watching Scam the Scammer stuff now.
Oh.
And so it's just like, and it's all Indians. It's like all Indians
Bangladesh.
doing the scamming. It's
Bangladeshi, Pakistani,
it's not. No, it's neither one of those. I can't think of.
Punjabi.
No. It'll come to me when I like stop trying to think of it. But they're also like doing amazing work. I feel like there's a lot of people doing like terrible stuff on YouTube where it's like disgusting to watch, or like the First Amendment auditors, the sovereign citizens doing terrible things. But these people are actually helping people.
Yeah.
The scammers, like that guy Pierogi. I
Yeah.
don't know if you watch any of them.
No, but I love pierogies.
He's
Pierogies are so good.
Pierogies are fine.
There's one in Grand Central that's pierogies place. Anyway, sorry, ADD. I'm starting to surge.
I mentioned
Might see
food.
it bricked up sitting over here.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, caramelized onions. Ooh,
But he's like a scammer. Payback is his YouTube channel,
Okay.
and like he does this thing once a year where he gets like a whole bunch of volunteers together, and they have a call center, and all they do is go after scammers.
Okay.
So it's like they're taking up their time, so they can't fuck with other people. They're getting addresses, phone numbers, everything. Like they're stopping them from scamming other people.
And where in India if it's not Bangladesh?
I can't think of the freaking name.
There's a name. I don't know any.
There's
other
like this
Indian
one
states,
area.
cities.
Do you know all the places in
I don't know.
India?
Is Bangladesh?
I can't think of it.
Is Bangladesh a country or a part of
I
India?
have no idea. I know that Mumbai.
I think it's a separate country.
Yeah, okay.
I know Mumbai is where a lot of call centers are.
Mumbai.
'cause
Kolkata.
yeah, that's it. Kolkata.
Kolkata.
That's where almost
Ooh,
all.
interestingly, Salt Lake, Kolkata.
Wait, Salt
Oh,
Lake, yes.
Salt Lake, Utah. It's all coming together.
I
Full
do.
circle. It all came together.
Oh my God.
I know you didn't hear any of that because you were busy doing your accent.
No, I heard you.
super
Yeah,
low
I heard
into
you.
the
I heard you.
microphone, But it was a pretty good
I
thing
heard you.
incidents.
I heard you.
Okay. Any weird sexual experiences?
Nothing. Okay, so I have two that I can speak of.
Okay.
So, and they're not like crazy stories. It's more of just like instances. So one time, I had a girl give me head one time,
Nice.
and then fully spit the nut back onto my chest. Crazy. Like one of the most jarring.
I don't know.
Dude, I was furious.
Were you like this? Like, oh.
Yeah,
snap.
like I was like laying there,
Yeah.
like getting my dick, and then
And she went, pow.
yeah, I finished, and then she spit on me, and then apologized.
Oh, okay. So she was trying to swallow. She couldn't swallow.
I think it was
She,
like
it was a bad.
I was probably a little
improvised
backed
move.
up. It was probably like
Yeah.
4 or 5 days.
Oh, good for you.
And then, so that was disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, but that what a way to turn the tables because normally that would have been on her chest or her stomach.
yeah.
She got you back.
True, she did. I knew. I was like,
This
you know
is
what?
a woman's podcast.
Yeah,
right.
I was like, this is disgusting, and I apologize.
See, now you know what it feels like.
You know,
She didn't want to swallow. She spit it on your chest. Did she like?
good thing she wasn't like turn around and lay on your stomach. I'd have surprised you so much.
Did she like do something with it, or she got a towel? So right when she spit, she was like, "I'm sorry," or was it like, was she trying to be hot?
There was nothing hot about it.
Oh, okay.
It
She
was
spit
just
there,
full,
and then she was like,
just
oh.
shame and awkwardness.
Was it
between
like
the
a,
two of us?
Was
Yeah.
it like an aim spit, like, or was it like a bleh?
It was more of like a reflex.
Oh.
There wasn't. You could tell it wasn't premeditated.
So it was like a bleh.
Yeah, it was kind of like, but like
Guys,
some
clip
power.
that at home. Clip that. Clip Shannon going.
Don't you
bleh.
dare! I
Clip
don't want to see that in the
Tell
Racist
Tony,
Live chat
make-
tomorrow. Don't
Rick,
do it. Don't
Somebody make something out of her
Don't.
going. Bleh.
Don't do it.
Sorry.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
So yeah. So,
that-
it was all right. So that's just a yeah. You know, she's
Yeah.
not wrong for that. You know, she couldn't handle it. She couldn't handle my
handle
boy.
Good, I guess. Yeah. So that was one of one.
Yeah. Okay.
I've never.
Wait, what was your immediate reaction?
I was stunned.
No,
Truly taken
So
back.
just like shock, like no facial expression, no
Like,
words.
No, I'm like pretty grossed out, like by shit like that. So I was like,
You can clip that.
yeah, clip that.
That one.
No, get Shannon going bleh, and then him going, and then the surge.
Yeah. So that was just genuinely weird. You know, I was like, but then I did appreciate. A part of me could appreciate that it just ended up on me and not like my bed.
There you
Oh,
go.
okay.
You know, so I didn't have to do laundry, which was
There
nice.
you go.
That's also something. Did she get up and get you a towel?
I would hope so. I would hope. I think she did. I don't remember standing up and just like dripping everywhere because at that point it's like my semen and her saliva.
Yeah.
So it's like I am moist at this point. Like
Yeah,
a
the kid's moist.
lot of fluid is going on.
Yeah.
I wonder. I'm sad that you can't remember this part. Like she get up and
I
like,
don't
run
She
remember.
could have
into
made
the
it hot. She
bathroom?
could have like took it and fucking gave you a little rub.
Yeah, see that
rub your
I don't
balls.
remember how it really played out after that. I
know?
just remember being disgusted by it.
You blacked out.
I blacked out.
She
Yeah,
wasn't
it's like-
ready for all that surge. You surged in her mouth.
Yeah,
pretty
she
well.
wasn't ready for the
She
surge.
wasn't ready for the surge.
Are you ready for the surge, Tom?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. And then the second story, I was going down on this girl. Okay, and then like flip her over. We're doing Missionary now, and she has like
Wait.
It was wait,
Hold on. You're going down on her, and then you flipped her over and did missionary. You were going down, and you were eating her from behind.
eating her from the back. Eating her
Oh,
from the
you
back.
were eating her from the back.
Eating her from the back.
Nice.
Eating her from the
That's
back.
what I'm talking about.
Not eating ass. Not eating ass.
But your nose was in her. Your nose was in her.
I'm
in her- in her
opposed.
hiney.
I'm opposed to eating ass. I find that to be disgusting.
Oh, God.
okay.
You
But-
once you drink that surge, you're gonna think differently.
Yeah,
But
maybe.
anyway, so you're eating it from the back, which is hot.
So
you
now
flip her over. You go
flip
on
her
top.
over.
Nice.
Missionary, and she just has like this frightened look on her face.
Okay.
Right? So like
Alright.
now like I like already live in my head.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like just spiraling at this point. Like, what is going on? I was like, what is her? I'm like, are you okay? Like, do you want me to stop? Like, what is like going on?
Yeah.
And then she's just like, no, like it's fine. But like she just looks like appalled.
We think she was losing her virginity.
So I have no idea. I'm thinking that. I'm like,
I was thinking some sign of that her period started on her face.
maybe that. I'm wondering. I was like, is she like wants me to stop, but is like afraid to say it?
Yeah.
Sort of. I'm like just like very like on edge at this point. I'm like, I don't want this to be like a story.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, she's like, no, like just keep going. Like it's fine. So like we finish or whatever. I go to the bathroom and I have a shit stain right down my nose. Just straight
I
down.
can't believe you held that in. I tried. I'm like, your nose is in a rash. You're doing this, and he's like, no, wait. You had a little. You look like you were.
Yeah,
going on
like
to
an
Thunderdome.
avatar.
Yeah.
And then I was like, it all makes sense.
You didn't smell the shit at all.
No, and I was saying this to my roommate. You can't rip because think about it. Like the
It's high up
nostrils are
here.
coming from here down.
You smell everything from here. It's
right.
hard to
It's
smell up.
like you'll never really smell. Like a guy could never be like, oh, like my hair smells.
Yeah.
Because like it's not. You can't like think if a girl's gonna smell her hair, you smell like the bottom.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
You look like
if you
look
put
like
something right here,
I'm telling you, nothing.
I don't know.
it's not that you can't smell above your nose.
Maybe it was.
I don't think you
maybe
can.
it was like a mixture of. Maybe it was just juices. It wasn't necessarily caca.
No. It was like I like was
It was brown. Like if you were like.
I was able to do this, right? I was able to go, oh, that's shit. Like fully, like can confirm 100%.
Oh, that shit might be the title of this episode.
But this girl, it's also like, what? I mean, what
Why
else
didn't
could
she
she?
fucking just
no, but what
wipe
else
you
could
real
she?
quick?
Yeah, I guess that
See,
would be
that's
the
what
way.
I was thinking.
You
I was like,
gotta hide
why?
it.
Yeah, why just let me hang out with that?
Say, hey, hold on. Just okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
And you go, what was that?
But how do you got to do that in like a sly way where he's never gonna know? Like grab a shirt from the bed or something and just be like, "Oh, you're sweaty" or something.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Wow, so you were in there, kid.
I guess I
You
was.
were in her ass. Pretty good.
Yes, I was.
So when you came out of the bathroom, did you give any indication that you now saw what happened?
I didn't. I didn't have it in me.
Okay, that's good.
Because I already knew how like
This is gonna
beat up.
ruin her life for a long time.
Right. I was like, let's just pretend that didn't happen.
What
I
a
just came
dirty
out.
broad with a
Also,
fucking mud
yes,
butt.
also
Who
that.
fucking
Yeah.
bangs a nice Long Island kid with a little mud in her hiney?
Yeah, so I just quick just wiped it myself and was like, I'm not gonna ruin this woman's life.
You still talk to her?
No, we did not. That was a one and done.
Show me her Instagram later.
That's a real,
I want
that's
a
a real
picture.
nightmare. Oh, but if she follows anything that you do and hears you tell the story, she's gonna know it's her.
True, but But maybe she'll be rather thankful that I not only didn't say her name, but also didn't address it to her at the time.
Or
So,
maybe like learned a lesson, like maybe do a quick freshen up or
You know?
You gotta freshen up, ladies. You got a little,
Yeah.
little summer's eve, a little something.
nothing wrong with the lady busting out the dude wipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, why you got dude wipes? I mean, well, thank you. I got shit on my forehead now.
Exactly.
You look like it's fucking Ash Wednesday. You're fucking banging her on Ash Wednesday over here.
It's honestly, yeah.
Forehead.
Kind of what it looks.
Are you in her house or your house?
This was at my apartment.
So did you like splash water on your face? Did you just like wipe it off with like a piece of toilet paper?
I think I took my Dr. Squatch face wash and did a quick little rub in the sink. Came out just refreshed like
Kid
a
shops
new
at
man.
Target. He's a young guy. Shops at Target.
Yeah.
And then do you go back into bed and like snuggle?
Maybe for a little bit, and then after that, I think we kind of just like wrapped it up. I think we just parted ways and just.
Does she go back to normal now when you come out of the bathroom, or is she clearly like horrified by what just happened?
I think it was one of those things where she was just like, let's just pretend that neither
Yeah.
of us experienced that.
That's what you got to do.
Right. And that's the thing. I was like, what is really going to come out of me being like, there's shit on my face right now.
But she knew it. She saw it.
You gotta
knew.
wipe your face like a man and keep going. You gotta go. Hey, you all right? You okay? All right, boom. Let's do this.
Yeah.
But he didn't know. You didn't know it was there.
I mean, that's a lot of shit to have.
I will say, like,
That's
one of my.
kind of wild, man.
That's what. Okay. I should also say it wasn't like a
Stripe?
schmear.
Oh,
it was
it was
more
just-
so like a little. Like
something.
chunk
Oh.
that was like resting.
A cocoa pebble?
Almost.
A cocoa? A Couchocula?
Kinda, yeah. Because I remember when I went to go like take it off my nose, then it smeared.
What are the chocolate Flintstone? What are the chocolate cereal that I'm thinking
Chocolate
of?
Pebbles?
Rice Krispie. They look like Rice Krispies, but they're chocolates.
Isn't it chocolate?
Cocoa Pebbles?
Yeah, that's it.
Cocoa
Cocoa
Pebbles.
Pebbles.
Cocoa
Chocolate
Pebbles.
Pebbles.
Cocoa Pebbles.
Oh, that's freaking gross.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty.
Damn, but you did a good job, kid. You make as long as you make it feel.
I hope
okay,
my
go,
mom
"Hey,
doesn't
it's
listen to this.
Yo, she's
You
gonna
know?
listen. She's
My
gonna
poor,
listen.
my poor mother's gonna hear
She's
this and
gonna
be
listen
like,
to it.
Thomas, you're coming to
Wait,
church.
She had a
Sunday."
smear on your nose.
She
honey.
raised a good boy.
She
He
did raise a
didn't
good boy.
embarrass the lady.
Yeah, I feel like there's no reason to.
Yeah, you did a good job.
All right,
You did a
we're
good
going to move over to our next segment, which is bad things.
Bad things with you.
This is Bad Things, part of the show we talk about fight stories, physical altercations. If you've been in more than one fight story, then the most memorable fight you've been in.
I've never been in a fight, and I'm very insecure about that.
Okay. So never...
Like no, outside of like a sports scuffle, no hand-to-hand combat. Just completely just 0-0.
Any bullies in school?
No, because that's the thing is like I was like an athlete. I was relatively popular, so like I wasn't going to get bullied, but I wasn't like the bully type per se. It was
Every
like a
time you say
weird
the
mix.
thing
I
is,
was
she
like,
hits the bell. By the way, I don't want you to.
what?
Every time you say the thing is, she hits the bell.
Oh,
That's
that
the
is,
name
okay.
of the show, and
He
she hits
wasn't
the bell.
acknowledging it.
No. But no, you did it twice, and I just want. And he's such a nice guy that he didn't say anything. But after the show, he'd be like, "Yo, Mike, what's wrong with her? She hit the fucking bell."
This is only you think that.
I'm very
He's
insecure.
not thinking that I am
Because you
have
don't
a
tell
mentally
anybody- you don't-
diseased where he thinks that I'm here and I have to have a bell everywhere I go in my life and tap the fucking bell.
I'm sorry that I cut you off, but it's
Yeah,
if
one.
you- if
There's.
you
Let me
don't-
just tell you this because he has to say this every episode, and
Okay.
it's so stupid. Is that one comedian ever said it, and ever since then he has to
What comic
retell
was
the
it?
joke. No, not Akeem Woods. God forbid. I'm so sorry. It wasn't him. Now that I have his name in my head, it's nope.
Cream Green.
Kareem
Kareem
Green.
Green.
Kareem Green
Oh, I know
was on
Kareem.
the show and made a joke about it, and now Figs has to retell his joke on every episode.
Gotcha.
because you if you haven't seen the show or if you're not a fan and you talk and she starts hitting the bell, like what
I
did
would-
you think when she hit the bell?
I figured it was maybe some sort of like indicator for her to the producers, like that's a point in the episode.
Oh, you
for
didn't
something.
think that I had a mental illness that I had to carry a bell with me
No,
around to just hit it
I
randomly?
didn't
You
think
didn't
it was
think
just,
that?
like,
Weird.
For pleasure. I figured it had some sort of functional
Oh, that's
value.
weird. That's weird. You don't think that because Figs thinks everybody thinks that.
I just wanted to let him know, so he doesn't have to question it.
Yeah.
If you say the thing is,
He would have walked out of
She
this
hits
room
the
and
bell.
never even thought about it ever again. Would have never thought about it.
Yeah, I
He's
wasn't
barely
thinking too much of
registering
it.
it.
all right, so maybe it's just me. I'm certain.
Yes,
I got
it's
insecure.
you. It is you.
Well, Kareem Green, when it happened, just start
He
telling
has to. He can't help himself. You can come up with your own joke about it. You don't
might.
have to tell Kareem's joke every episode. It's
What did
okay.
Kareem say?
He was like, she's like, what's wrong with this autistic girl? She autistic? She's like, she autistic? What about she keep hitting the bell? And I just thought it was so funny.
Yes. Now try getting a laugh on your own. Go.
Yeah. Oh, so we were talking about fights. Yeah, no fights.
So never anything with like out with a girl and some guy looks at her, touches her, something like that.
No, I'm a big like de-escalate and just like get out of the situation kind of guy.
So is there a situation where a fight almost happened where you talked yourself out of it?
Probably. I think what it stems from is like joking around in middle school. Like I went to go give my buddy a dead arm and like hit his shoulder and broke my hand. And that like ruined my basketball season, which
Or
was
how
like
jacked is this guy?
for an 8th grader, he was pretty strong.
How hard did you hit this guy?
Well, I hit him like right like the shoulder, like right here.
So
Like I
you fucked
missed,
up,
and I
yeah.
like just cracked the side of my hand. It's called a boxer's fracture. So then I was like, that ruined like my whole basketball season, and I was like, oh, like that was just not worth it. So like I always because like I like doing like physical activity. Like if I couldn't go to the gym for like 6 weeks, it would fucking ruin me. So like that's what I was consciously think
I
of.
know
Like
what you mean, brother.
it's not like to me like it's not worth like the actual fight. I'd rather just get out of the situation and just.
The sports scuffles were all through basketball, mainly.
Those are all basketball, and
Right.
oddly enough, are all initiated by me, which was kind of weird.
In how?
Fouls.
Like there was 2. I got fouled hard on one play, and I played with this one kid who was just like you play with kids that are like looking for a fight.
Yeah, this is not in school. This is on the public.
No,
playground?
this is like public school basketball.
Oh, okay.
So there was one time we were playing Newfield, and the kid like landed on me, and I kind of like pushed him off of me, and like a whole fight broke out. But like I never really got like I was always the one like so there was that one, and then there was we were playing Hop Hog, and this kid was just like,
what is that? Was hop?
It's just like a Long Island school.
Oh, okay. Oh,
And
you were
then,
playing it. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So
What did you
Newfield High
think?
School, Hop Hog.
I thought it was a game. I thought he was like I was playing Hot Pog. I was like, what is Hot Pog?
No, and then it was like the end of a play, and the ref like blew the whistle, and I just like knocked the ball out of the kid's hand to kind of like just assert dominance.
Nice.
You know? And then that kid like started to flip out, and then one of my teammates like pushed him. So like two, oddly enough, kind of initiated by me that were not finished by me, which is also not a good look.
So you haven't done that in like a bar setting?
No. I'm like a very happy drunk. I'm not like a whiskey fists kind of guy. You know?
And then what about in like comedy clubs, shows and stuff? Never an issue with an audience member?
No issue with an audience member. And I'm kind of waiting for that to happen because I feel like everyone has that story and mine hasn't happened yet. So like I'm always patiently waiting for like that, like, you know,
Nothing on the patio yet? Nothing on the patio.
No, nothing on the patio, like nothing. I've just been relatively smooth sailing.
All right, knock on wood.
Yeah.
Then we can move on then. We'll move on to our final segment, which is scary things.
So scary things, okay.
Yeah, you might want to hit the surge more if you want.
This is Scary Things, where I try to talk about weird, creepy, unexplainable, possibly paranormal experiences. This could be anything from like a dream that came true, sleep paralysis, all the way to the other end of the spectrum where you heard a voice and nobody was there, saw a shadow, anything that in the moment freaked you out and you couldn't explain.
Okay. So I did have a dream when I was younger that I was going to lose one of my parents. And in the dream, it was my mom. But my dad ended up dying when I was 17. So that dream like ended up coming true. But I only say that to preface into this second dream, which was crazy.
Can I ask a question about that one and it not
Yeah,
ruin the rest of the story?
Yeah.
So how much time passed between the dream and your dad passing away?
I think I got that dream when I was in like 9th grade, and he died when I was a senior in high school. So
Okay.
like 3 years.
Okay.
So then one night I remember I like went to sleep, like normal day, like nothing out of the ordinary or crazy per se. And I remember falling asleep and like going into like the dream state and having like a normal dream, like whatever it was, it's kind of like irrelevant to the story. And then I remember feeling like, you ever like go on like a roller coaster and you kind of feel like when you drop and you feel like your stomach, it's like, whew, you feel like that change in like gravity almost. I remember like kind of feeling something like that, and I felt like I fell into something, and I was like now consciously awake but still asleep, right? So I'm in my bedroom in my mom's house where I grew up, which is where I went to sleep that night. But I'm laying in my bed, but everything in my bedroom is like stripped and all the walls are white, right? So it's just like my bed, but I know it's my bedroom because like the distance between like my bed and like where my nightstand and the wall would be is the same, but like the nightstand isn't there. It's just like white wall, and the door is there, but like nothing else like near it or whatever. And I remember like I like turned to the right and my dad is standing over me in front of my bed, right? And when I saw him, it was like a real life reaction where like I genuinely like got scared. I was like, Jesus Christ. And then he like looked at me like, I'm sorry. And then I snapped out of it, went back to the dream state, and that was kind of the end of it, right? So then I wake up the next morning and I'm like, that shit was so weird last night. And I was like, and it felt so real, which was like kind of like what was like really disturbing about it, because I feel like if it was a dream, he would have like said something he ended up taking his own life when I was 17. So like it was a very like unsettled, like there was no like note, nothing sort of like it's kind of like a very like unfinished story, you know, like I don't really know like what happened. So then
Your dad was a cop, right?
yeah, he was a cop, yeah.
Okay.
So then I wake up the next morning and I say to my mom, I was like, I had like this weird dream last night. I was like, but I don't really know if it was a dream because like my reaction to it was so real, right? And she was like, well, what was the dream? And I was like, I had a dream that like I was dreaming and then I fell into like this weird version of my bedroom that was like all white and Dad was standing at the edge of my bed and I got scared when I saw him and he felt bad that he scared me and then he just like went away and my mom like covers her mouth and like almost starts to cry and I'm like, why? And she's like, last night she goes, I was in an Uber leaving the bar she was at and she was sitting in the back of the Uber and my parents' wedding song came on. So she got home that night and before she went to bed, she said out loud, Brian, why don't you come visit me in my dream tonight? Like, I miss you.
Holy shit.
But he, like, came to me that night. So, like, I guess, like, for whatever reason, like, I had, like, that, like, ability to, like, receive it. But it was, like, crazy. Like, I had no idea, like, that my mom had said that, like, the night before. And then, like, it happened that night. So that was pretty wild.
Are you sure that the I'm sorry was about scaring you and it wasn't just like a I'm sorry for leaving the way that he did?
It could have been that, but I think it was more so... I think maybe he was like showing up with like the intent of like explaining, but like kind of looked
Then you
at
ruined it.
And yeah, well he fucking ruined it. It's on him. But I think it was more so him kind of being like, oh, like you weren't the one that asked for me to like show up here, like your mom did, and like you have no idea like what's going on right now. That's how I took it personally. But so then like I'm telling this story and then my brother is like standing in like the kitchen doorway listening to all this and just like a typical like little Irish kid, he goes, we never fucking comes to visit me and like flipped out. As if that's like...
Did your mom ever have a dream about him? After?
No, I'm the only one that like had like that sort of like experience, which was very weird. Like still to this day, like it hasn't happened since. And like I don't know, it was very like just like strange.
Were you close to your dad?
Yeah, we were close.
Yeah.
I was like I'm definitely like closer with my mom, like more of like a mama's boy, but like he was like
Your parents were together?
yeah.
So you firmly believe that was your dad visiting you?
I know it was.
Yeah.
That like
What was he wearing?
So that's what was very weird is like I remember him in very like neutral clothing, but I remember him being like much younger. I think like they say like when you like go to like heaven, you are usually like Jesus's age, like you're like 32 years old or 33. I'm sorry. They say like that's the age you usually revert back to is like your youngest, healthiest, most vibrant self. And I remember saying to my mom like, what was weird, I was like, is he looked like so young. Like I don't remember him that age.
And the next thing I was gonna ask you if you think it's subconscious. Like, you know what I mean? Do you think that this was just his subconscious, kind of just like a random dream, maybe a thought? But saying that you've never seen him like that, I don't know. That's kind of.
But it was so clearly him, like the mannerisms, like everything.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I don't know. Who knows? I mean, but I do think that there's a difference about like dreaming of somebody and somebody like visiting you in a dream. You know, like I've had dreams about like dead relatives and it's never felt like anything like it was actually them. Like I know I'm just like remembering them. Maybe something happened during the week or something that like sparked their memory and then now they're just showing up in a dream. I never had it where I felt like somebody was like communicating with me after they had gone.
Yeah, see, like I took it like I've had like dreams of like people where like you would say like, oh, like thanks like for visiting me or for whatever. Like had like a dream that like my grandma was like in a dream or whatever and like but she had like shit going on in the dream. Like she was speaking, there was like a plot, it was like a story per se. This was like the best way I can explain it would have been like if that night like I was sleeping in my room and he just like poked me and woke me up, like how I would react. And that was kind of like what it like felt like in that moment.
Have you tried like talking to him afterwards and like asking him to like come back?
No, and that's the thing. I don't really know like if you're supposed to speak, right? Just because like
You're like, I'm not gonna fuck with that. Like I don't.
yeah, I know like in like he's so anytime like somebody close to me goes to a psychic, he always like comes through, or like a psychic or a medium, and it's always like the same kind of story. They're like somebody's like aggressively trying to get into the room, like this person is like urgently like has something to say, like we have to let this person through. Like it's always like the same sort of like
Was your
setup.
This might be too personal. Was your father's death like on the news or something? Like was it like public
No.
where people knew? Like
No, but like
Okay,
basically
okay.
like he died, like it was like a self-inflicted gunshot.
Okay.
So like anytime somebody dies like that and like you go to a medium, they start coughing. So like anyone that like knows me that goes to a medium, like the medium starts hacking up a fucking storm like she's got COVID.
really?
And it's usually my dad coming through. But like they say that like you shouldn't have access to that world in like Christianity.
Of course. Yeah.
They say you're not
You shouldn't
supposed
fuck
to
with
fuck
that
with
thing.
it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so like it's also like it feels kind of unsettling to me that like if I do like have that like ability to like speak, like I would rather not access it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I know
ignorance
exactly
is
what you
bliss
mean.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
So like it's like a weird
In between.
yeah.
So your friends that have seen psychics that your dad has come through, what is the thing that he's trying to say?
He always just says like he'll be like, you know, like I'm sorry, like a big one is like he always says like I'm always with them when they're driving. He's like I'm always watching over them like when they're driving, and then he always like points to his lungs. Because like his whole thing was like he was like at 9/11 or whatever, and like he always thought like he wouldn't live a long life to begin with because he thought like he would get like some sort of cancer like from the towers going down. So then he always like points to his lungs and says like, oh, like something was wrong. But like we know that's not true because they did an autopsy and they were like, yeah, this man is in full health.
This is just what ticks something that I don't know that I'm believing these psychics necessarily. Because I feel like just saying somebody's coming, like they're not actually giving anything to tip off that it's your dad.
There's been like some very like specific things. Like I remember like he came through to one of my ex-girlfriends and he was like, I need you to tell my my wife that buying Danielle the white Jeep for her birthday was the right move, and I would have done it too. Because like my mom was like, I don't really know if this is like the right thing, like it's an expensive car. Like me and my brother, like we both got like relatively like shitty cars for like but like my sister got like this like really nice like Jeep Wrangler. But then like, and my mom was kind of like questioning it, like I don't know if like Brian would like do that, but then he was like, no, like I would have done that for Danielle because it's my daughter. It's like that was a big one. I think he said something about me doing stand-up one time. But it was like relatively vague. It was just like, he was like, you know, like tell Tom like that I like support him on like his comedy journey. Like they were like saying
Who
like
do you say that to?
my ex.
Your
Yeah.
ex.
Yeah.
Your ex saw him
The
multiple
psychic.
times.
That's psychic. She's at the psychic.
Yeah.
That's what he's talking about.
Oh, your ex at the psychic.
Yeah. But then like she was annoyed because like the whole like visit was basically like for me. Do you know what I mean? It was like 45 minutes worth of like stuff about like my life, and then like nothing to do with like her. So she was like kind of annoyed.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
That was probably 2020, 2021, I would say.
Maybe you just need to just go to a psychic and get it over with. Let him say all the things he needs to say.
See, that's what I'm kind of like. I don't know how I feel about that.
That's why I
only
asked you if it's
because
public. The information is public or whatever. because
Nah,
I
I mean,
feel
like,
it's
the
all full of
information-
shit. Like those guys are all full of shit.
The information is not public. It wasn't like a widely like publicized thing by any means. Unless like you're like from like Port Jeff Station, you really don't know like the story.
I have family that's where my family lives in Long Island.
Really? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I grew up.
We can go over names after.
Okay, but yeah, so like that's the thing is like is like I don't know. I feel like that would be like Satan's avenue to kind of like deceive me of something. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like it's better
every
off.
movie, you know what I'm saying? Like every
Right.
single thing is like if you try to dive into it, it's just gonna be
It's just gonna be like a never-ending
something
like
bad,
rabbit
yeah.
hole sort of thing. And then like another thing is kind of like, you know, if he wanted to like say like his piece, like he could have like left like a note or whatever. Like it's just like it's one of those things. Like I've come to terms with it. I don't need like closure on it per se. Like you kind of just like figure out like how to deal with like the trauma aspect of it and like not let it like impact your life in like too much of a negative way. It's like, what would I really gain out of him being like, oh yeah, I thought I was gonna get like lung cancer or something.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
You don't have to answer this. Was he depressed?
Do you know what's funny? Is I'll never forget when I was told my ex-girlfriend that for the first time. She goes, "Was he depressed?" And I thought that was such a stupid question. I was like, yes.
He killed himself.
Yeah.
He
Some would
wasn't
say
ecstatic about life.
Yeah, some would say
Yeah.
the most depression you could have.
No, I know, because in my head I'm like, oh my god, if my dad just suddenly killed himself, I'd be like, I'd
It's
question
never-
But
everything.
what's crazy
never
is like
sudden.
looking back, so like through like leading up to it, I wouldn't look at it and be like, oh, he was like a depressed man. But then like when you like look back and like hindsight is 20/20, you're like, oh yeah, I guess he did have like a little bit of depression
Okay.
that like was going on.
Okay.
And then I just want to go back to that. So you felt like if you were to speak to a psychic, that they would like the devil would be trying to deceive you.
Okay, and I'll tell you why I kind of feel this.
No, I understand that part. But just like, and then you can go back to that after. But then these messages he's giving your family members and like your loved ones, do you think that's also some sort of demonic forces trying to deceive you through these other people?
I kind of do. I kind of feel like it's trying to like bait me with like these really like key details to like go to like a medium and like talk to him.
And then what happens?
So I remember like a big talking point of when my ex went to the psychic was she was like the medium kept like reiterating like, oh, and she was like speaking very highly of my intuition, right? And being like he has like a really good sense of like things that are going to happen and just like, but like I'm like a chronic overthinker, right? So like if I wanted to like derail my life, I'd be like, yo, you need to think more. Do you know what I mean? And like kind of like wean like off my faith and kind of put it like in my hands, which is like, and then after that I had like brutal like anxiety attacks and like it was just like not like a good thing. So I was like, yeah, it's just like I don't think like we're supposed to have access to that.
But then why do you?
It's a good question.
I mean,
That's a
like
very good
if
question.
if we're gonna like believe like along this line of like, you know, God being like, you know, in charge of everything, and then like the devil, I guess, also being real in this like line of thinking, and then like spirits being real, then it's all made by God. So it's like you're made this way for a reason. And then it's like, do you think it is his spirit coming through, or it's the demon trying to trick you?
I think it could be both. Like I think it like maybe one time like it could have been him, and then like another time like it wasn't him. You know, like I know I've heard stories of people that I'm trying to think of who this was. Actually, it might have been my ex again. But she was I think like her grandma was like really, really, really like devout in her faith. So like she was like going to mediums to like try to speak to her, but like she wouldn't come through because like she like didn't believe in that. So like I don't know, the whole thing to me is just like very like questionable. So I don't really know. And by the way, this is also, remember in the beginning of the episode where I said like I'm very 50-50, like I don't know if I'm gonna like fully wean into my faith or just become an absolute whore. Think about like now here I am
We
just
answered
talking
it.
about shit being on my nose at one aspect in this episode, and here I am like not willing to go to like a psychic because I'm afraid how it'll affect my life.
Is this just from one time your ex went to the psychic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like my neighbor went one time. The time my neighbor went, I
So
think
they
it was my
they
dad.
all went with their own personal things and then came back and was like, Tommy,
Yeah.
all they did was talk about you.
Yes.
Without even knowing. So it was like, they were like, your neighbor lost his dad.
Yeah. So I remember one time like another one of my neighbors went and
That's
she
kind
did
of
like
random. you
Yeah,
know?
and it was like she did like a group thing, right? So she wasn't even like in our town. She like went somewhere like further to like go do it with like work friends or whatever. And they're like all sitting there like in a circle and like clockwork. The medium starts fucking hacking up a storm, and she was like, someone's like aggressively trying to get into the room. Like she's like he's in like a police officer's uniform. Does anybody know here?
Do you think that these people go on Facebook before?
Well,
and
no,
they
but
kinda-
you have
and
to
they see the
understand.
friends, they see that
I
you're
don't even think
friends
that's
with.
necessary.
My dad also had like no digital footprint.
Oh, okay.
No social media, no like anything that would like give away those.
Because then it's like,
details.
okay, so how did they know this?
I
You
know.
what I'm
I
saying?
think
Like, I'm
I
always
think they
looking for the
do.
If
trick.
you're in Long Island and
Yeah.
you say in a room, someone's aggressively trying to get in
okay.
here and he's wearing a
Okay.
cop uniform.
Okay.
What are the odds someone in the room? I'm just saying, playing devil's advocate
That
as
makes
far as
sense.
what he's saying. That's like you don't have to look on YouTube for that. Like you just go by context clues
Gotcha.
to figure that out.
Yeah.
As far as like the coughing thing, I'm confused about
That means
what,
like death by gunshot.
according to who?
That's just what I've heard.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, that's like what I've been told. I don't know, but I remember one time like one of the mediums was like, she like was like, I have to like kick him out of the room. She's like, because I can see what was giving him the PTSD that he dealt with, and it's making me uncomfortable. Which was like, that's what I mean. Like, who's like, are you really supposed to know, like what like that information
But
is?
why not?
Just because like, I don't know.
It's not about
like,
that's not giving you some hints about the afterlife or anything. It's like filling in pieces about things that you didn't know. Like what's bad about that?
Thomas
Just
is like,
curious.
why'd
I'm
you
just
bring me
curious.
this fucking
No,
podcast,
I'm just
Mike?
curious to know like what you think. I'm just curious.
Well, I would say, I mean, like, if you just look, I mean, he was like a detective in like the South Bronx and did like street narcotics and would like, he would like go like undercover, like buy drugs from people. Like, I'm sure he was in like some fucking crazy scenarios, you know, like, being like a first responder on 9/11. Like, I generally know what it kind of was. Do you know what I mean? And then also like, I think there is something to like he just like retired after like having like this like really exciting job and then was just doing like a boring job, like doing like security at like a high school. And I don't think you're supposed to like live like a high octane level, like kind of life and then just like not do that anymore. Like I sometimes I do wonder like if he was still like a cop presently, if he would still be alive. Just because like I think like I think like it's like a weird thing. I think it kind of like held it in check.
But that's the thing is like it's like at some point he would have to stop. And it's like you're just like staving off all of those things till some point. You know, like if
Right. Yeah, I think there was like a physical component of that job that was like a good outlet for it.
an
per se.
outlet or just something that like let him ignore it, like push it to the back because
Yeah,
there
no,
was like more
exactly.
important things happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe if he like had a motorcycle or something. Just something with
Yeah,
like
maybe.
a boost of adrenaline.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe? Or
I
did
don't
he go
know.
to
Honestly-
therapy though?
No. I mean,
It's like Long Island Irish.
yeah, he's like not the type of dude who's gonna go to therapy.
Yeah.
You know. I think he like complained of like having like anxiety or whatever, but like wasn't like anything like serious. Like no one was like, oh, that like when he like did what he did, everyone was like very, very taken back. No one was like not surprised. Do you know what I mean? Everyone was like really caught. It like really like shook up my community.
That's why I asked you if he
Yeah.
had depression, because I was like that was leading into the question of were people like, fuck yeah, he was kind of down and out, or like no.
Yeah,
like, oh
the
my
only
God,
thing
like,
I
what the
can
fuck?
really remember is I remember him being like relatively like indecisive leading up to that. And which was very weird because he was like a very like dominant personality. It wasn't the type of dude to be like, well, what do you think about this? More so like, here's what we're doing, just like
Were you upset a little bit? Like,
No, he loved it.
no, I'm saying like
his
not
favorite.
like
No,
that,
dude, you
that
know,
was such
so-
a selfish thing to do.
Do you know
or-
what's crazy? Is like the day that it happened, I got that news, and then I went to Tropical Smoothie, and then I went to the bank, withdrew money, and then went to this girl's house and like paid her for like my senior trip. Because like it's
I
such
thought
like
you were
a
gonna say something.
it's such like an overwhelming. I paid her for a blowjob. So I was like, I'm down.
spit on my
I'm down,
chest.
I'm down real bad today.
Yeah.
It's like then as she gave me head, she ended up spitting all over my chest. And because like you're just like so in shock in
Yeah,
that moment. Like there's
yeah.
really nothing to feel. Do you know what I mean? What's weird is like it hits you like a month later.
Yeah.
You know, it's
You
like
gotta start
everything.
talking, bro. You be the next Pete Davidson. You gotta start talking about this on
Yeah,
stage.
everyone. Yeah, maybe. Everything. Yeah, it's weird. It was. I remember like June like 28th, like around like my friend's birthday.
Yeah.
I like felt it.
Yeah.
You know, it was like a party for a month after that.
Yeah.
You know, everyone was just like always at my house. I was like drinking like every day, just like hanging out. People dropping off food.
Of course, if you're celebrating, I think
hanging
that's a
out
good
with
thing
my
to do after
buddies.
somebody, yeah.
It was fun. I would like show up to school when I wanted.
Everybody was like,
Dude, it was awesome. Like I would straight up just like look at my teachers and be like, I'm not doing that. And they'd be like, you don't have to. It was like the
Don't
great.
worry.
Yeah, I was like graduating high school. What was weird is like when I graduated and then like everyone kind of stopped like coming over because like everyone like moves on with their lives. Then I was like, now this is weird.
Yeah.
You know, but it was like, it was like a month-long party
Yeah.
afterwards.
Okay, so real quick, last question. And I guess I have like a feeling of your answer. But what do you think happens when we die?
Well, I think you get judged, right? And then I think you go to either heaven or hell, depending on the kind of life that you lived. That's pretty much it, you know? I think like I honestly like I really look at like your time here is like more so just like a trial, and it is like very meaningless. Like I think when everyone is like really gets hung up on like what's like my purpose and like what am I supposed to be like doing here, like I think really like all you're supposed to do like on earth is just like make meaningful relationships, be like proud in like the work that you do, like not take yourself too seriously, and it's almost just like you're just like building up your resume to like face your creator. That's like kind of how I look at it, which is like I have like this like point of view on it, which is why like I really struggle with like when I go out and then like I party and then I end up like having sex with like a girl or something. I'm like, I'm gonna have to answer for that. So like I'm kind of like being pulled in two directions. Like I kind of live by the notion of like you're only gonna be 25 once. Like you got to get this out of your system. But it's like, do you have to get it out of your system?
Yeah,
I
but
don't
having
really
a
know.
drink and making love to a lady that's consensual, you know what I mean? Like I don't think the creator would be like I'm pissed at you.
I don't think so either. But like at the same time, like I think it comes down to like I think everyone kind of like feels it like at a different point in their life, like when you're supposed to. I feel like I'm at like a turning point in my life right now. It's just like exactly where I felt like when I was playing college basketball before I started to do stand-up. It's kind of like the same feeling. Like I just like feel like something needs to give. I gotta like cut ties with one of these. Do you know what I mean?
Last question.
Okay.
So the hell that you speak of, are you there for eternity? No getting out?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think that seems kind of foul. I would hope you can try and prove yourself again.
More like a purgatory kind of situation.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't really know. It sounds like a pretty bizarre thing, like, but then, like, you hear, like, these stories of, like, the people, like, being, like, reincarnated, and they have, like, these vivid, like, memories from, like, their past life, and it's like, well, that seems, like, relatively undeniable, so it's like, I don't really know. I don't think we have, like, a full understanding of, like, what this whole thing truly
That's
is.
correct. We don't have an
You know, I genuinely, like, I think, like, people, I think this is why intelligent people are always depressed, is because, like, they try to figure it out, and it's too vast for them to, like, understand.
Well, yeah, the human experience sucks for the most part because it's just a big question mark. It's just short. You know that there's, like, probably a terrifying end, and we don't know what happens next.
Yeah, but I do think, like, if I were to be on my deathbed, I don't think I would, like, truly fear it, per se. I think I would look at it like I would hope I would, like, get into heaven. I would hope if I stop letting ladies shit on my face, you know? But, like,
I think that gives you a point.
I think that also gives you
I
a
think
point.
he might be like, I've never seen
Hey
it.
kid.
That
yeah.
one was a net positive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one. You took it like a champ.
But yeah, no, I think I would be like relatively like at peace with it. Like kind of like, okay, like I'm leaving like this world of like sin and like going to like this all perfect place.
What does heaven look like?
I don't know. I mean, like people always say like that metaphorical like streets of gold sort of thing. I don't really know like what it would look like. I wonder, I kind of wonder, like, I wonder if it's just like Earth, but like just made perfect. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if it's just like your favorite places without like all like the negative aspects of the world. I don't really know. Like, I'd probably be pretty sick, honestly, like when you get up there.
That's what it is. So in Supernatural, at the end of Supernatural, the TV show, which I'm sure you don't know because that's pretty old, but at the end of it, it was like everyone's like perfect world. In A Good Place, see that one? Probably not. That one's not old. It's not old. But in that one, it's just like you can go through like these doors and go to literally anywhere. So it's like you can experience everything for however long you want until this one point where you walk through this door and then you don't know what happens. But it's basically like you just like reintegrate with like everything else.
Okay.
Those are two that I think of a lot. And then in Lucifer, a TV show Lucifer, that version of hell in that show is that you go through like this hell loop of like the worst thing that's ever happened to you over and over and over again. And like you technically can pull yourself up out of it, but like you have to find that within yourself to like break the loop of the most terrible thing that's happened.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting like to think about. I don't think any like religion is like 100% accurate. I wonder if like all of them are kind of intertwined in like a very weird way.
In The Good Place, last reference.
Which one is The Good Place?
Good Place. It's with Kristen Bell, Ted Danson.
Okay,
and it's
yeah.
I don't want to like give it away because it's not revealed really the first season. But yeah, the heaven, whatever. And what was I gonna say? What did you just say? What's that thing you just said?
They intertwined.
Yeah, like I wonder, like
Yes.
if every piece of religion has something correct.
So what they say when she gets to heaven is they're like, basically every religion has like so-and-so percentage correct. But there was this one guy, Doug Forsett, who on a crazy mushroom trip one day got it 98% right. And he just has his like picture up on the wall. But that everybody else said there's like bits and pieces that they got, but nobody got it 100% right, which is probably true because how could we possibly know that? And we probably shouldn't know.
Yeah, honestly, I just like I really think like ignorance is bliss, which is why like I'd be like afraid to like learn because like any sort of like information I would like learn like about like my dad's like life and like his suffering, I would just be like yeah, this isn't gonna like enhance my life. It's just like information that I now have.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He didn't write in journals or anything like that.
Nah, he wasn't gay.
He isn't gay.
You know, he was a straight man. He wasn't
straight
journal.
man in the Bronx. Yeah, he was not gay.
All right, we're going to do some plugs and we'll get out of here. We went a little bit over. We'll start with you, Tom. Anything you'd like to plug?
I have absolutely nothing. I
Okay.
have an
That's not true.
Instagram.
Yeah.
_ Tom McGuire. You can follow me on there. Other than that, I really got to start.
You're at the stand all the time.
If you listen, 7 p.m. upstairs. I'm hosting that show usually every Friday, Saturday. Best show in the city.
Oh yeah, baby.
Ask any
The
comic. they'll
kickoff.
say-
The kickoff show.
Yeah, I love hosting that show.
It's fun.
It's such a great time. I love doing the patio spots. Like
I can't
every
wait.
every like show that like people shit on. I'm like, I fucking do that. I'll do it every weekend.
There's 1,000 people who wish they could be in your position.
Dude, exactly. I always say that. There's like a great comic that just moved to New York that was a beast wherever he's from, and he's like, dude, I would do anything just to be where you're at. So,
Fuck yeah.
but yeah. So I'm at the stand, and follow me on social media. I'll put out some stand up.
Hell
Awesome.
yeah.
Figs?
You guys already know. I Comic Mike Figs. Everything is there. Go to the Thing Is Instagram page. You guys have been following. It's been blowing up, which is great. Keep fucking sharing and following, doing all that stuff. I'm gonna be on the road with Vinny. I got a thing coming out soon, so you can see all the dates that I'm gonna be there. I'm fucking hammered from the surge right now. I am fucking.
I did not crack the surge.
Didn't crack it.
out.
I didn't crack.
And the mistake I made, I was gonna get a piece of pizza, but the train skipped, so I had to rush here. And I'm on an empty stomach of surge. At Comic Mike Figs, go to x.com and see little previews of Fig Talk. Go into Patreon, subscribe to Fig Talk. It's the best show on Patreon. Yeah.
You can follow me on Instagram at ShannonLee6982. Wherever you watch the show, you can also watch it live every Tuesday at 4 p.m. at gasdigital.com. Use promo code TTI. You'll get a discount on your subscription, plus access to every single episode of this show we've ever done, including our exclusive Power Hour episodes, only available for subscribers, and every episode of every show on the Gas Digital Network. We're a family here at Gas Digital. You'll get access to every show on the network, uncensored, ad-free, everything the way that you're supposed to get it. And starting June 6th, a new show joining the network, hosted by both former guests of the show. Zia Anderson and Naeem Ali are both starting a new show called True Dat. Yeah, True Crime Show. So check that out. If you listen on iTunes, YouTube, wherever else you listen, make sure to rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend, leave a comment. Every little bit of interaction helps the show to grow. If you check out the show during our YouTube premiere, which will be back to Fridays at 8. Yeah, back to Fridays at 8. You can take part in our dinner table live chat. Usually me or Figs or Harrington or usually hang out in the live chat, and you can take part in that. What are you thinking? Is that not the right time?
Yeah, I feel like it was a little bit earlier because 8 is we don't want to go up against the Friday night hang.
So is it 6?
Friday at 6 sounds about right.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do Friday at 6.
Probably Friday at 6, but follow me on Instagram and I'll post it usually. If you have stories to submit for bad dates, bad things, or scary things, or if you see fun videos that you think would be fun to feature on the show, I have a whole bunch, but we didn't get to them today because it's such a fun episode, but keep sending them into thethingispodcast@gmail.com to be featured on the show. That's it. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you, Tom, so much for being on the show.
No, thank you guys for having me, man. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
Tommy.
We'll be back next
This
week.
was a fun time.
Bye, guys.